Hello, my name is Agar. I'm going to teach you how to wear PPE and to streak bacteria on an agar plate or isolated colonies. So, before you do anything, you want to make sure you're practicing proper aseptic technique. So, you want to make sure to wash your hands before the experiment. This is important because you want to kill all the bacteria that were on your hands before you start the experiment. And this is to make sure that you don't contaminate the bacteria culture or contaminate the plate that you're spreading the bacteria on later on and during the experiment. So it's very important to thoroughly wash your hands with some soap and water, and just to dry your hands afterwards and before you start the experiment. Next, you want to start donning your PPE. So just get some gloves and like some surgical gloves and put them on your hands. This is important because it helps to prevent contaminating your bacteria culture with things that you may have touched. The next, you want to put on some goggles, protect your eyes. It'd be very bad if you were to get some chemicals or bacteria in your eyes. And next thing you want to put on is a lab coat. This is to protect your clothing, and just button it up to make sure there's no exposed clothing that can have any chemicals or bacteria get spilled on. And when I was doing this, I was noticing it's probably best to put the lab coat on first before the gloves, because the gloves make it difficult to button the lab coat up. But either way, still gets the job done. Next, you want to begin disinfecting your countertop. To do this, you can use some 70 to 95% ethanol. Ethanol is a good antimicrobial agent, and alcohols in general are very good at disrupting the cell walls of bacteria, making them very good chemicals to kill bacteria. So this is just important to disinfect the countertop so you can begin streak plating. Next, you want to assemble all the things you're going to need. So your culture can be put in a rack. The Bunsen burner, which you're going to need to use for your flame. A flip match to ignite the flame. That connects to the gas valve. And you're going to need an inoculating loop to spread your bacteria. You're going to need a agar plate. There's no agar on there, but for the experiment you're going to need a agar plate, some media, and a Sharpie to label your plate and your bacteria culture. So when you want to begin labeling your bacteria culture and your plate, so you don't mislabel things and you know what everything is. So on the tube, you can put the bacteria on there, the media, and any antibiotics that are, if you are using any, to grow the bacteria in. And the plate, you're gonna want to put your name. You want to write on the bottom of the plate, not the lid. And you're gonna put your name, the bacteria, the media, and the date. It's important to write on the bottom of the plate because if you write on the lid, you can misplace the lid and you're gonna not know what is on your plate, what bacteria is growing on it, and that's just not gonna be very fun. And the bacteria we're using for this experiment is Serrata marcacenes, and the agar we're using is tryptic soy agar. Next, we're going to begin lighting the Bunsen burner. This can be done by turning on the gas valve and light the match a couple centimeters above it. And we're going to just dial the flame back a little bit just to get those two nice and distinct flames going. And you don't want to have the Bunsen burner be too hot. So those are the two flames right there, and they're not too tall, so it's ready to begin. So now you want to start by heating up your inoculating loop to sterilize it. I like to start at the base of it and work the way up and make sure that the entire wire is red hot. And then you're going to use your other hand to get the culture, and then you're just going to dip it in there, a little swirl, and then that has enough bacteria. Make sure to stay in that zone of inhibition that the flame produces, and then you're going to get your plate and you begin spreading. Each time you start a new quadrant, you're going to want to take it off the plate and then flame again. This is so you can dilute the bacteria that are on the plate, and flaming it helps kill the bacteria that are on the loop, making it more efficient at diluting the bacteria across the plate. So you can use this diagram to mentally or physically divide the plate up to 4 quadrants. And then once you've finished, turn off the gas valve. And then once you're done with the culture, you can throw away the excess in the biohazard waste bin. And once you're done, you can get your plate and take it to the incubator. For this bacteria, you're going to use 37 degrees. And it's important to know the incubation temperature and duration that your bacteria needs to grow in. And we're going to place it in with the lid size face down, so the condensation will drip on the lid and not back onto your plate. This is what your plate should look like after 20 to 48 hours. You should see nice, clear, isolated colonies in the 4th quadrant, and make it easy to pick them. So now here's a diagram showing how to label the plate, how to streak the quadrants, and what the quadrants look like afterwards. So now you want to begin taking off your PPE. You can start with the gloves, and then the jacket, and then the goggles. This is done after the lab when everything's been put away. And then you want to make sure to throw away your gloves in the biohazard waste, because they may have had some bacteria on it from doing the lab. And that concludes how you do properly put PPE on and streak a plate for isolated colonies. Thank you for watching.